Alright, let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, in my opinion, they're probably going to be one of the worst teams next year. Let's just get that out of the way. They do have a lot of promising young talent on their team, but they also have a few veterans that doesn't make sense for them being there. For example, Andre Drummond. Honestly, I don't know why they traded for him. Sure, they didn't give up too much. It was just John Henson and Brandon Knight, although Brandon Knight has shown to be pretty good in this past year. He was hitting a lot of his threes. I believe he was shooting 40% from three on about 5 attempts. He's been doing really well. But Andre Drummond's just a guy, he's just a rebounder who's okay at defense but not the best, so he doesn't provide much value in a modern NBA setting. And especially since he's taking shots away from other guys who could be getting more shots, like Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Kevin Porter Jr., and Chetty Osman, and now Isaac Okoro. I don't understand him being there. They should probably just trade him away to a decent team, get a couple draft picks, or maybe one draft pick. I don't really know how valuable Drummond is anymore. But also, Kevin Love is still there. Kevin Love, he's still good. Even he's declined. He's not in his prime anymore, but he's still a solid stretch big who can give you 17 and 10 on some really good efficiency. Now, he's not good at defense at all, but a team could really use him really well, and they could use some more spacing at the power forward spot. And even though he's not at the highest value he's been, I'm pretty sure a contending team or a solid team would likely take a chance on him because they just want to improve their ceiling. And even though he's not a great defender, having a 17 and 10 guy who can shoot the three ball is still really valuable to have in today's NBA. But what about the rest of this team? What about the young players? Do they have any promise in the future? Now, with the talent that they have right now, I don't see them in the future even best case scenario, if all of them hit their primes and are the best that they can be. I don't think that they have a generational talent. Colin Sexton is solid. He's a pretty good finisher. His shot has improved quite a bit, even though he's not shooting at a ridiculous volume. He's been getting better with his shot. He's been getting better with his finishing. His handle is pretty good, but he's definitely not a playmaker, and he's more of a shooting guard type of player in a point guard's body, which would be fine, except that he's not really suited to play the shooting guard, and on defense, he's not a great defender. I think people just saw a clip of him slapping the floor on defense and assumed that he was a great defender. He's not that great of a defender, and he's just more of a slasher and not a shooter. So, although I could see him maybe being an all-star in the future, I don't think his ceiling is that high, and I don't think he's their franchise player they're looking for, although it looks like they're going to put all of their faith in him. Darius Garland, I think, has a lot of potential. He's a really good shooter. He's a solid enough playmaker. Again, not good on the defensive end. But I think he has the potential to be a multiple-time All-Star, and I think he can be a star-caliber player on a championship team in the future, as long as he figures it out, because in his rookie year, he wasn't very good, if we're being honest. But hopefully he can figure it out. I'll get a little bit more opportunity and get some more open shots. Maybe they can run some more off-ball stuff with him so that he can get some more open shots, some more, open looks, opportunities, and get some more opportunities to play make when Colin Sexton is off the floor, or maybe even when Colin Sexton is on the floor, he can run the off-ball stuff and be an off-ball playmaker with a little bit of gravity. Chetty Osman pretty much is what he is. He's just a solid playmaker, shot a scorer, solid shooter. He's just a solid player all around, not great at anything but a jack of all trades that a contending team could definitely use, but he's still relatively young, I believe, so I feel like he's going to be on the team for a little bit longer. Kevin Porter Jr. is my favorite prospect on the Cavaliers. He's actually very, very good. He's a lot of people have compared him to James Harden for some reason just because he's left-handed and he can score. It's kind of weird. But he's a pretty good slasher. He's a solid enough shooter, solid enough ball handler, and I can see him becoming a multiple-time All-Star in the future. He fits more of a Kelly Oubre Jr. mold, and I'm not just saying that because they have similar hair. He fits more of a Kelly Oubre Jr. mold, in my opinion, but a little bit of a higher ceiling to where he can possibly become an All-Star, like a 25-5 guy. I could definitely see that in Kevin Porter Jr.'s future. As far as the rest of this team, Isaac Okoro is someone I really like compared to more of an Andre Iguodala, somebody who can end up being a solid offensive player, he can end up being a solid playmaker. He does need to improve his outside shot, but I believe he can become a pretty good finisher. He has a lot of length, he has a lot of size, and he's probably going to play the shooting guard, the small forward position. and maybe even some small ball forward, who knows, but he's a really, really good defender, and that was his main caveat. That's why he was selected so high, but he does have the tools to develop into a solid offensive player and a great defender who can definitely become an all-star. But overall, the young talent on the team, none of it is generational, and the moves that they have been making are kind of questionable. So I don't see I don't see a really bright future for this team, but I also don't think they're going to be terrible in the future if they keep going in this direction and they don't get a generational talent. And with the older guys on the team, I think they just need to trade the older guys, trade Andre Drummond, trade Kevin Love, and then just run it out with this squad. They also have Larry Nance, who is pretty solid, and they should probably trade, but they could also keep as a backup power forward because he's really nice for them. But trade Andre Drummond, trade Kevin Love, get some more picks, try and go for that generational talent. Not necessarily try to suck, but they're probably going to suck. So try and get that high pick for this next draft class, which seems to be stacked. And just try to build off of that, build off of the young players that you have, and maybe look into trading Colin Sexton and Darius Garland, because I don't think they're like the duo of the future. I think one of them needs to be traded, and whoever shows more potential, whoever shows more promise, it needs to be traded. Now, right now, that is Colin Sexton, but I believe Darius Garland will become a better player in the future, but we'll just have to wait and see. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Follow me on all my socials in the description, and I am out. Peace.